I'm Maestro Drake, and God, this scares the living shit out of me. This scares me to death. You know, now Papa wasn't the smartest being on the planet. 2 years ago, somebody sends me a text message to check my account. So I went to Fells Wargo, not to be confused with Wells Fargo, and put in my information. They cloned my card. So yeah, I was a fucking dummy back in the fall of 2022. So now I haven't gone to 7-Eleven in a while, but fuck, you got to be fucking careful with everything. I think you can use your phone, you can bring cash, but sometimes you don't bring cash. Sometimes you don't have time to bring cash all the time. So, you just do whatever is economical. But all right, this is scary. So check those scanners at 7-Eleven. Check those old school scanners. I think the newer ones, the white ones, those white ones with the sort of the Apple, the sort of the tablet display things, those are better. Not those old school ones. So watch out for those old school scanners. That's how they fucking do this shit. Fuck those people. They can go fuck their mother's asses. Those scanners. Those scammers. Ooh, Dark Souls. Dark Souls. Welcome to Goth-Metal lore. We have been away for a while, but this is Souls of Fire. This is a great game, right? I'll never play. I'm not playing Elden Ring. I might get Dark Souls remastered for the Switch, but I really don't care. These games are super fucking hard. They take up your time. These games, I know video games in general take up your time, but Dark Souls will take up your time, as well as Elden Ring. As it is, I'm playing an old game from 2018 that I really want to get everything for. So, George Mann, Alan Qua, and more. This is from the Mann Publishing Company, I guess. Titan Comics. Dark Souls, the complete collection. And so much in here. Every page is really glorious. I mean, you look at all the colors, a lot of paintings, like graphics in here. This is the story of a woman. Now, the logic of Dark Souls, and I don't know much about it from what I have read, is that we're dealing with Renaissance period fantasy, right? But everyone's turned into zombies, either because someone or some people in the village burn their family members into ash. So they burn their families in a big old fire pit, right? In a big old bonfire. And they turn into zombies. Then you have the undead, you have dark magic, you have the dark arts of magic, right? There's an amazing amount of violence and gore and lore. Blood, heads coming off, arms coming off. A lot about death and rebirth and being cursed. This is a woman who's searching for her brother, or searching for retribution. What happened was she killed her family in a bonfire in her village, and she had no memory of it. So this shaman, this bald dude, this shaman, this witch doctor kind of guy, he takes her on a quest, but he wants power for himself, and she gets killed, but she is the undead now, and that's in every Dark Souls, Elden Ring kind of logic. You're battling the senpai level kind of monster, and see how good you get at destroying him or her. It's like Zelda, but it's dark, dark, dark. So this woman's on a quest. She's on a quest to no, right? So there's so much here. It's like Zelda, but it's so dark, or like He-Man, or like even a dark version of Skyrim, right? There's a story where this prisoner attracts people and then kills each one who are undead. So he pretends to be a prisoner who's up for execution, and entraps each knight, and then chops their heads off. Here you have different dungeons, different wizards. Every fight is a fight to the finish. Every fight is a fight for mortality. A fight for souls, of course, because it's Dark Souls. It's a fight within your soul, within my soul. Each battle could be the last battle for our heroes. But since it's 90 pages, I doubt that the hero will die until the very end. The graphics are amazing. The design is amazing. All the creatures. I mean, you mostly just have to follow the game logic. And who are the bad guys in the game, what kind of heroes are in the game. And everybody's just guilty of something. There are no purebred heroes here. And in here is story number two, in which you have a guy who is uh, he is locked as a prisoner, and I I think he was once one of those lords. Like I said, it's sort of a fantasy version of the Renaissance period, and he is bested by a knight, and then somehow he is trapped as a prisoner, and these are the different ugly people that trap him there. So his whole life is about fighting a 10-foot tall giant to the death, and if he survives for the next fight. But he lures the giant to kill the sort of the I don't know, the grand admiral, whoever's in charge of all the fights. So here's the giant again, and yeah, he's going out into the snow. In the snow, it's like a giant snow globe, and in the snow is a mansion. And this mansion is a goddess who was once a woman. Her husband died of cholera or some fatal disease, something that people would die in the Renaissance period for really quick. And so she wished for him to be reborn, and he was reborn into a demon made of fire and stone. What I also think is epic is the Shakespearean Renaissance speak like thee and thou. Thou hast returneth. Thou hast done their duty. Speak for thee. Thy bread. It's very old school speak, and I liked it very much. Um, when I think of this kind of speak, you think of the Renaissance days. You can also think of Shakespeare and Romeo and Juliet, but it's very useful here, and it just kind of gets you more into that mood. Look at there's beheadings and people getting maimed like a bitch. It's really good. It passes the time. You're always like the way each story is folded out with the panels. You're kind of just anticipating what happens in the next panel, the next page. And here we are. The warrior. Yeah, this guy. He's the one that writes the polar bear. See, I don't know much about Dark Souls, but I like. See, if He-Man and if Masters of the Universe had a little bit of this logic, and I know Paul Gerard would be all bored for this, then we would get our movie. We would get our fucking movie. This is a quest to get the movie. Just like ping pong flicks, right? Just like Chris Wong wanted his Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I'm happy with that movie. I want to see this, but I don't know if we're going to get a Dark Souls movie at the least. But look at the paintings, look at the colors, the meshing of colors, yellows, greens, and blues, and the way it's distributed out. There's the undead coming out of the paintings. There's the mistress. Welcome, my warrior. Thou art expected. Some of these kind of have a very Joseph Campbell old school story feel to them. So if you're a fan of Joseph Campbell, you will be right at home with this book. It's the tales of fate and fables, consequences of actions. You must go far and wide through perilous journeys across mountains, across forests to get to this destination, right? And look, it's King Randor. And there's the knights. Yeah, look at this. This is the uniformed world. Oh, this is the one where the knight. Okay, so this is the story where the knight lost his brothers uh, because of a dragon, and another knight cut the dragon's head off. And then the silver knight became a black knight. And I guess the logic was that the silver knight was in debt to the king, your service is into the king, the ruler, right? The absolute ruler. But when you're the Black Knight, you serve the dead. You don't serve anyone but yourself or to the dead. So lots of great art here for this. Fantastic. Look at this. Look at this dark stuff. Fantastic. Oh, this is hard to describe, but it's basically I guess it's a lordship addressing the dragon with no scales. This is the Grand Archives. I'll read the dialogue here. My lord, I bring good news. The fruits of our plan ripen by the hour. Our plan? Have I not told thee the machinations beyond these walls that art of no interest to me? Did I not instruct thee to act solely as mine is? that mine own might be forever free of destruction. Ah, I thought, thought, what did you think? Thou did no such thing. You simply felt. You simply felt. Which means either thou hast no will because thou cannot control thy passions, or thou hast no mind because though thou may control thy passions, thou hast no mind with which to act beyond them. The will and the mind, ever the burden to a mortal soul. Come, let me free thee of such restraints. Let me uncreate thy conscience. This is the kind of material you can expect in a book like this. It's almost like a ninja book from Japan, right? And here we have a series of shorter stories, much shorter. Some are a couple of pages. This guy gets his head chopped off, and he's forced to fight again and again and again. Fight again and again and again. I like those paintings. Um, Here we got people eating the dead. More going on here. This is another fight. Another fight. This is more 2D art. This is 2D art, but it's pretty good. These are about the witches. This is about the balance between good and evil. People can sin, or people can help, or people can do the good deeds, profess the good news, or sin. But it's always about the balance. One cannot be better than the other. It's always in balance. So, and then you got this guy hanging by the roots. You got a talking cat. Um, so much going on here. This is a very Joseph Campbell one. This is about a woman who searches for immortality, and this is like a Renaissance kind of period thing. And she seeks this knight, and this knight, not this knight, but a wandering man, kind of like Link from the Legend of Zelda, right? He wanders around. He wanders around the perimeter of the lands, right? But of the open world. But she wants his power because how does this guy live for hundreds of years? And he doesn't tell the secret. But once he tells her the secret, that's it for her. That's it pretty much. Like either you what is it she says? Then thou shalt spend the night in my dungeons, and on the morrow you shall choose. Reveal thy secret, or thine secret, or face my sword. Well, I guess that's it for you. And then it's like, here he's like, and then everybody turns into zombies and shit. This is like the darkest shit ever, right? This is like a zombie infection of the Renaissance period. This is the mirror that never breaks, or when it does break, more red soldiers come out. Pound of flesh. Oh, these are great bedtime stories for your 8-year-old, by the way. And then there's more here. And then after all this, okay, now we get to, this is Legends of the Flame. You can't see that. And this is kind of like the introduction to the Zelda Hyrule Fantasy board game of 1986, in which you get a description of all the different enemies and places you go to. Like these are the characters in the game, right? So just like in Zelda, when you see the introduction to all the enemies, this is kind of like what it feels like, the board game. And this is script to strip about how they do all this stuff. I thought it was very good. So I'm now going to give it a rating. I'm going to rank jaw-droppingly gorgeous from start to finish. I thought it was very good. Let me see what I'll give this. What will I score this one? I'm going to give it a solid A. I can't give it an A plus because I think that there should be more. There probably is. I think there is more. There's another story. There's another one called, and you can tell me in the comments below. Dark Souls. What is this one? Hold on. I have to see the title to this. The Willow King. So this is another one. This is an all new story here, but this is the Willow King. So for now, I'll give this an A. This particular collection, but this is called the Complete Collection. It's complete, but there's the Willow King, right? I kind of wish Masters of the Universe could have just some of this kind of material where it's dark and foreboding. Because a lot of us grew up. I mean, you just can't go back. Kids don't want Masters of the Universe. The adults do. That's the thing. To pretend like only the kids don't the kids want it, like that's ridiculous. That's silly. Anyway, that's my whole argument. Tuesday, we'll go back to Gears of War. We'll look at some lot. We'll look at some of the lore from that. All right.